Hello everyone and welcome to my first Gragas guide in this series. This guide will be about top Gragas, how to lane with them, which items to build, in what order you should max your abilities, which runes and masteries you should use, and how to play them in the late game. In the laning phase, you generally want to stay back and farm in the first few levels, or poking your enemy with your barrel when you are almost sure you can hit it. Just remember that when you use your barrel, leave it activated for as long as you can before you pop it on your enemy so it will do as much damage as possible. By level 4 you should already have all your abilities and your opponent is hopefully rather low HP. If you did manage to get to that position, you can most likely go in for the kill. Make sure you have your Thunderlords broke off cooldown, and if you do slow him with a barrel and then walk up to him while drinking your W and hit him with the EW combo, the combo should cut down the enemy's HP by about 50% health, if not more, unless he has a shield of some sort. If the enemy didn't die from the combo but is low enough, keep chasing him while auto-attack until you get your cooldowns back to finish the kill. You can even use flash if needed. Remember, you can always activate your flash in the middle of your E cast to surprise the enemy and hit the ability from longer range than usually possible. Also remember that when you hit your opponent with your W, it counts as 2 Thunderlord proc, meaning you only need one more auto attack or ability on your opponent in order to proc Thunderlord. Thus, if you hit your opponent with the EW combo, guaranteed to proc Thunderlords unless it's on cooldown. Now let's talk more about the mid game, specifically from the moment you get level 6 until the end of laning. If you're behind your enemy and your enemy is harassing you under turret, you can surprise them with an ult that will bring them under your turret. If he is getting turret aggro, it is almost a guaranteed kill, since you can keep him CC'd with the ult, then hit with your E immediately after he lands, in order to force him to take a large amount of damage even if he flashes out immediately after CC is done. And after that, you can just chase him with your abilities. Even if he doesn't take turret aggro, you can still burst him down to close to no health if you use your entire combo. This strategy usually works best against enemy champions with ranged attacks, since they tend to harass under turret more than melee champions. If you're ahead, you can be aggressive in lane. You can start by poking them with barrels, most likely do pretty good damage per hit at this point, and when he gets to about 50 to 70% HP, you can do your fancy combo. Note that this combo may be a bit hard to learn, but it shouldn't take too long before you get the mechanics down. In order to do the combo, you first want to put down your barrel close to your opponent so that he'll think you miss it, and stay around it. Then you want to use your W and start getting into a position with no minions in your way. Then you want to cast your E and flash onto your opponent, hit your W and immediately ult him towards your barrel before he has any chance to retaliate. If you've done it correctly, the opponent should be flying towards your barrel. As soon as he gets over your barrel, you want to pop it. This combo will most likely kill him, and late game you can even use it to 100-0 an ADC with a relatively tanky build. Just make sure that your barrel hasn't been laying on the ground for too long, because then it can just automatically pop before the opponent even got to your barrel, which causes a decent amount of tilt and tears as an outcome. In the late game, your mindset should be changed a bit. It should remain aggressive, although you need to think about peeling too. In case you see an opportunity to combo the ADC with the combo described above and get him to your team with your ult, or even kill him immediately, you should definitely go for it. But if you have no way to get to their ADC, you should peel your ADC and mid laner, so no one will be able to touch them using your E and Q and ult if needed. In order to go on the aggressive side in teamfights and try to burst their ADC, make sure you have your flash before the teamfight. While not necessary, it helps so much in teamfights, it boosts his potential in teamfights by great amounts. The ADC will almost never expect a WEQ ult flash in his face, and will for sure not expect the damage coming out from this rather tanky Gragas. Now let's move on to the build. The build I use most of the time for top Gragas is Iceborne Gauntlet into Ionian Boots. By the way, make sure to get Distortion enchant on them whenever you get 450 extra gold, so you can use the E-Flash combo as much as possible. After that you want to go Abyssal Scepter if they have a lot of AP or MR, and Deadman's Plate if they have lots of AD. Then you want to go Spirit Visage, Warmog Armor, and for the last item you can choose a tanky item which you think would fit the situation best. Remember that with this build, if you get Shin versus a squishy enemy, and especially if he's a level or so lower than you, you You can just use the big combo with ult flash etc and kill him in one shot, maybe one barrel before just to be safe. Another build I really like to use is for split pushing, so I basically use it whenever I need to carry solo in lane. The build is Iceberg Gauntlet into Yonin with Distortion, into Zizzirat Portal, into Banner of Command, into tankiness. This build is really good for split pushing since it will get you really tanky while maintaining a good amount of damage from Iceberg Gauntlet and Banner of Command, which means you can put down your Zizzirat and Banner of Command in top lane and fight as a tank with your team while maintaining the burst potential you have with your normal build. The bad part about it is that you're quite a bit less tanky than the other build, which is why you should probably go tanky after Zizzirat and Banner of Command. I level my abilities in the next order. Level 1 Q, Level 2 E, Level 3 Q, Level 4 W. Max abilities in the next order. Ult, then Q, then E, then W. Most people tend to max the W before their E, but I think maxing E second is better for the type of way I and you should play with Gragas. Maxing W is good if you want to go as a tank and play as a tank, who only soaks damage and peels for his team, but I rather max E to max the amount of burst I can do in the mid game over the tankiness, since you should be looking to assassinate their ADC and squish his mid game. For masteries, I go Thunderlord's Keystone in order to add burst and abuse the WE combo, which guarantees to proc it. As for runes, I use quite weird ones, but stick with me. 3 ability power queens, 4 ability power glyphs, it's flat ones of course, 5 flat magic with these glyphs, health per level seals versus an AP laner, and flat armor versus an AD laner. And for marks I go 9 flat magic pen. These masters are mostly focused on your aggressive style in lane. I don't use any scaling ability power because I want to maximize my damage in lane in order to get snowballing as soon as possible and have a lot of kill potential. The combo of 20 ability power and 8 magic pen runes that gives you helps your Bal do good damage really early in the game, while still maintaining just enough tanky runes. That is it for my top lane Gragas build. I will do guides on Gragas in the jungle, mid and support as soon as I get time to do so. So make sure to say in the comments which one you'd rather see next. Also, this is the first guide of any kind I've ever made, so make sure to leave some constructive criticism in the comments so I can improve for the next time. Thanks for watching and goodbye.